All right, all right, all right. Talking about the Xfinity series at Martinsville. This is a pretty not. I want to use the word tricky. However, I feel like that might be over exaggerating and stuff because it's not impossible to build lineups. However, this is one of the first slates that we've had this year that has left us with kind of uncomfortable decisions to be made, which is perfectly fine. You know, that's how we get different yada yada yada. But when we're looking at the Xfinity Series race, let me bring this up on my end here, or at least my lineups, because I did all this earlier this morning. So when we look at the practice data and we look at where these guys are performing in terms of speed, in terms of everything else, look, Cole Custer, best average speed. I mean, Barry has speed. Sammy Smith has speed. Ryan Truex has speed. I understand that Jonathan Nemechek didn't necessarily blow the socks off of anybody, but we also need to remember that the two practice sessions, the later session is the one that you want to be a part of, just because that is much more similar to race conditions that you'll be in. Entering this week, I'm standing with Phoenix and with Richmond, saying that Joe Gibbs is just the team that we want to focus on. The fact that we finally had Cole Custer come out, show speed, which we've seen again. If you've been with me, we've already done this song and dance several times. And we might end up doing it again with Cole Custer. But Cole Custer has been showing phenomenal speed. And the thing that makes me feel okay about it has been how consistent Riley Herbst has been, specifically at Phoenix and at Richmond. He showed speed. He didn't fall off. In terms of even Herbst has been consistent at the intermediate tracks, whereas Cole Custer, when we look at Las Vegas, for example, couldn't pass, got way too tight, yada, yada, yada. Anywho, when I look at my lines, I am doing 17 lines in this race. I have practically half of them have Cole Custer. The other half have Nemechek, because typically I build, I'll do like my first 10 lines or something, and that'll be built on the projections, okay? Whatever I'm projecting, whatever I've put in, it's leaning Cole Custer. Once I get through those types of builds and stuff, I'm like, I need to have some Nemechek. I need to. Look, based on what they've had at the short track program, based on what they've had in general, Nemechek should be a contender, so I built, kind of my second half of lines with Nemechek. In terms of the guy between those two that I would rather trust, I like Cole Custer because he's cheaper. He allows you to fit in more drivers. He allows you to fit in people that I think we should be targeting regardless of who your primary lap leader is, and that is Sammy Smith and Ryan Truex. I have nearly 100% Truex and nearly 100% Sammy Smith. I like their pricing. I like their cars. I like what they're bringing. Ryan Truex will be in the top 5 in this race. Okay, Sammy Smith will maintain his running position, if not run better than 7th in the entire race. That's where I'm at. Those are my main guys that I'm building around. And so if I'm not going Custer, I'm going Nemechek, and I'm still using Sammy Smith. I'm still using Ryan Truex. Also, if I like Sammy Smith and I like Truex, I really should like John Hunter Nemechek. That's kind of why I was like, once I got through 12 lines with just Custer, I was like, okay, I need to have exposure to John Hunter Nemechek and stuff. Past that, personally for me, I have no Creed, no Parker, no Sam Mayer, no Josh Berry. Okay. That's just where I'm at, just where I'm taking my stands. I have no Allgaier either. I just like Sammy Smith. I like Truex. When I was building lineups, this is where I really didn't like completely following what the optimizer was telling me, man. It was wanting to use a ton of Brandon Jones. It was wanting to use a ton of Derek Kraus. It was wanting to use a ton of Blaine Perkins. Okay, and I'm fine with some of that. Okay, I'll run, my highest projected lineups, which have those guys in it. But I mean, it was like, just go 100% on Blaine Perkins, go 100% on Brandon Jones, and I'm like, I can't do that. I have to make adjustments, and so. Projections wise, I think, and it's so weird because I Jones, I like it wanted to use Kraus and Jones a lot, which is fine. Based on like value, they're there. But I think there's just better plays. I know that Austin Hill is a bit more expensive than these guys, and I know that Austin Hill is a bit more expensive than Ryan Truex, but I like Austin Hill as well. I know a lot of people are going to want to try and get to Barry and Sam Mayer to get different, get a possible different lap leader or whatever the case may be. I think, honestly, the pivot off of those guys should be Austin Hill. And so a lot of my lineups have ended up going either Cole Custer or Nemechek, whatever you want to do there. And then Truex, Sammy Smith, and I've tried to get an Austin Hill in as many as I can. Now, basically, that's just how I'm entering lines. That's the lines I'm going with, and blah, blah, blah. Also, if you want to support me, if you like the content that I make, if this helps you in any form or fashion, feel free to join the Patreon or donate or tip or whatever through PayPal, which is in the link in the description below. Past that, in terms of the value plays in the back, in terms of where we're going to fill out our lineups, it's really all over the place. I don't really have a lean on any certain driver. Kyle Weatherman is probably my highest owned back there, but even then he's like right at 25-30% owned on my end. Dawson Cram, I don't think that he'll be high owned. I understand that he had a fast car in practice, but they said themselves that they were running Q times. But I mean, look, the car isn't bad, and Dawson Cram knows what he's doing. In the SS Greenlight race machine, I'm perfectly fine. When I play Greg Alding in that situation, when I play Joe Graff Jr., starting 29th at that price point, yeah. So Dawson Cram is not a concern there. Joe Graff Jr. in the Sieg car. I just went blank. Not RSS. Is it Ryan Sieg? I went blank on what Ryan Sieg's team's called. It should be RSS. Anyway, Joe Graff Jr. starting 34th. I have ownership to. I have ownership to Ryan Ellis. I have ownership to Greg Alding, and I have ownership to Anthony Alfredo. Like I said, I just really don't have a lean on anybody back here. I wanted to get to LeBay, but he's just a bit too expensive. I wanted to get to more Alfredo. I only have him in one lineup. You know, unlike yesterday where you had Dean Thompson in the back, like Anthony Alfredo's expensive. And yes, we've seen an uptick in the money that they're bringing, or in the money that he's bringing to BJ McLeod and stuff like that, but he's still going to be right around 20th, 24th, 22nd, you know, at the end of the day. And that's just a bit overpriced. Probably going to see him score probably right around 30 to probably 36 points, maybe 38, somewhere around there. But even then, it's just a bit awkward to get to Alfredo. If you're chasing lap leaders up front, you just really don't end up in his price range. So really, yet again, that's why I was just wanting to use a ton of Blaine Perkins, because he has like the best value score of all these guys back here. And they're all very similar. Literally, you know, between Perkins, LeBay, Weatherman, Dawson Cram, Honeyman, Joe Graff Jr., Greg Alding, Alfredo, all these guys are like right under 5X and stuff. And so it's very much just whoever you can afford. And I would deter, or if you're doing one-on-one, 1v1s and stuff, choose the guy who offers more place differential. That's just where I would go from there. Anyway, let me check out the comment section. Let me see what you guys have. If you guys want to, we're going to have some fun here. You know, Saturday night, you know, we got short track action at the paperclip. But I mean, if you guys want to rant, if you want to rant about, complain about your day, complain about whatever's going on in your life, feel free to do in the comment section, and I'll happily join you guys towards the end of the video and stuff like that. But let's go ahead and look through. What's going on, Dave? Thank you very much. I'm glad that you like the content. I'm glad that you're always here. And 72, you guys here in general, thank you very much for always supporting me and looking here. As I said, favorite cheap plays. Let me actually answer this in terms of outside of Weatherman, like cheap plays. And it's so even. I don't have a lean. Probably, I literally, like, when I look at all these guys back here, I nearly have them all in like 3 lines. Like everybody here is like in 3 lines just from the start. It's either, it's probably Dawson Cram. If I have to answer that question. I honestly have concerns about like Ryan Ellis. Like, he's starting 35th, has a lot of upside. Like, he's very safe, but like, oh my God, it's fucking Steven all over again from last night. Somebody's gonna run dead last. I don't want to play, you know, this Alpha Beta Prime machine that's just gonna run 32nd all day. So, that's kind of how that is. Let's go through here. Let's see. Lock in Custer Alfredo. I would not lock in Alfredo. I feel more comfortable locking in Custer. And Jake, if you remember, even at Las Vegas, he didn't kill us, man. Or what? I don't remember. I know one got completely just fucked, completely railed, blitzkrieged. But the other times, no, it was, yeah, Custer did fuck us at Vegas. I'm thinking of Richmond, which is so odd that Cole Custer having a bad day at Las Vegas ruined a lot of lines, but freaking Sammy Smith and Nemechek getting lapped at Richmond, the lines weren't bad. They didn't die on arrival. It was nuts. And if people hate rostering Cole Custer, that's just you gotta have a short memory, or not even a short memory, but you can't have that bias towards anybody. You have to enter each slate and every single race as a new thing. We're basically playing roulette. It's not necessarily anything but that. But in terms of, that's a bad analogy, but you know what I mean. You can't hold biases towards drivers just because they've cost you a lot of money, as dumb as that sounds. But yeah, Truex and Sammy Smith, I like that. I don't know. In terms of Mayer and Custer, I prefer Custer. Like, fuck it, I'll die on that hill every time. It's gonna work eventually. That's how it is. Thoughts on Moffitt? I have no Brett Moffitt today. Brandon Jones and Riley Herbst's thoughts. As I said, if you're using my projections, which I know you have, Sterling, it wanted to just use the piss out of Brandon Jones. It was unbelievable. It was like use Brandon Jones, and I'm like, why? It's just defaulting to Brandon Jones. I have him for 42 points. 42.95. Like, that's like that's a true like ceiling. That's him like finishing sixth and stuff. If I bump that down like slightly, it just takes him out. But man, so I capped my lineups at, or my personal exposure to Jones at 4 lineups. And yeah, it's I did 17 lines today. Just kind of where I wanted to be. That's where I just felt comfortable stopping. Didn't necessarily feel like I needed to go to 20 or whatever. Plus I got, I'm playing NBA, MLB and stuff today. I just didn't feel like doing more than, what is it? It's $255 on a fucking Xfinity Series race. I think I'm fine with that today. Especially because we got Talladega coming up and stuff like that. And BVP, thank you very much for the super chat on the YouTube. Nothing's going. Oh, thank you. Didn't even have a question. Just saying hi, just saying hello and wishing me luck. Same to you and everybody in here. Like, I want somebody in here, whether it be a Patreon member or somebody at least watch it. And, I want you guys to do well. I want you guys to win money. It's not a good time if we all just lose. And I'd rather it be anybody watching my stuff than any of the bigger sites. That's just how I'm at. Jeb Burton. I have no Jeb Burton. I'm not playing Jeb Burton. That's just where I'm at. I just try to ask, any miscellaneous news, new family? No, nobody died. Alpha Beta Prime also had a dude arrested, or not arrested. Well, yes, previously, but kicked out. But Alpha Beta Prime is just, that's a lame team anyway. Not any major news or anything like that. Did we talk about 200% Hammer? That was another one. That was absolutely another one. I'm not playing Hemrick. I'm not going to play Hemrick. And it has to be the construction of where I was going, because it just wanted to land on these guys here. And I'm like, I think there's way more upside chasing other people or just building differently and land on Hemrick and Jones and stuff. Like, having a lot. I don't know. I'm right with you. I saw that as well. And, I could be making a mistake, but just being like, I just don't want to play Hendrick. I don't want to play Hemrick starting 13th. That just, oh, well, could be wrong there, but that's where I'm at. It's right about last night. Yeah, we'll get to last night. If you guys want to put in your comments last night, did anybody else, let's see. They saw it. My tweets got seen like 600 times. 0 engagement. Nothing. I have no fucking clue. We'll talk about that at the very end, actually. Let's see. Yeah, thank you, Rick. I'm glad that I help you out. What are you doing with Alfredo? Reminds me of. I'm not playing. When has Alfredo been fast? Okay, Okay, hold on. Before I know he's finished in the top 20 and stuff this year, in these races. When we look at Alfredo, let me change it. So when we look at how he's done this year, and how he does this year in general, 17th Fontana, 19th in Vegas, 14th in Phoenix, 14th Atlanta, 16th. I don't know why I even mentioned Atlanta. But you know what I mean. Finishing inside the top 20 when he has decent days, DNF'd at Richmond and stuff. But in general, he's been like at the very cusp of a top 20 driver in terms of speed there. We look at Martinsville, 21st and 14th. Where I'm at is, and yet again, could just be making a mistake, having a bad time here in general. But if I'm chasing, it doesn't even matter who it is up front. But if I'm certainly chasing Truex. I think you chase Truex no matter what happens, regardless of your lineup. Like, Truex should be the highest owned driver in this. He probably won't be. But I think you should have your most exposure to Truex, and then whoever else you can think can lead laps. You don't land at Alfredo's price range. And it's going to take, if your lap leaders hit, you're not going to be able to afford Alfredo. He's not going to hurt you. He's very similar to Plata. He can have a good day and not be optimal. And depending on how good the lap leaders are and how many there are, he just doesn't fit in the optimal regardless of what happens. Secondly, again, I could just be wrong there. He might not be an optimal. But just my approach is he'll probably finish 24th or 23rd because he's starting in the back of the field. He's got to get through a bunch of people, just things like that. I think it's going to be a bit of a struggle to get through the field. That's just kind of where I'm at there, even with him. And I just think he ends up running outside the top 20. And I don't think you need him tonight. But that's where I'm at. Let's see. Played him and he was dead at the start of the race since the garage didn't even complete. I mean, that's funny. Not funny. That sucks. We've all been there and stuff. I was just reading the rest of your comment big, but I'm just not getting to Alfredo. Not because of an ownership fade, not because it's stuff like that. I just think it doesn't work. How's roster construction for SE? So honestly, if I was playing single entry, if I was in the mindset I'm gonna play single entry today, especially looking at the lines that I've built, I'm playing Truex for sure. I'm playing Sammy Smith for sure. I don't know where I would go for value at the moment. The main debate is Custer or Nemechek. I would probably go Custer. Those are probably the three I'd play in single entry, and just fill out the line from there. If I was playing single entry, I'd play Custer, Sammy Smith, and Truex as well. Only due to the fact that it's single entry. I want to feel not more confident, but that's a situation where I do want to take the discount on Custer over Nemechek. And then I'd probably try and get some fucking wild-ass guy in the back in terms of value. Ugly driver, ugly play, whatever the case may be. Could be a situation where, like, you want to try and get different with, like, Joe Graff Jr. Or, like, Honeyman. Single entry, that's kind of where I would go. I don't think I would get to Weatherman in single entry, but those are my thoughts on single entry. Yet again, I haven't done that in a while for NASCAR. I don't think I've done it this year, but that's where I'm at. That's where I would be at. Yeah, man, chicken nuggets for the win, Jake. Any lines with yes? So I do have with both those guys, which at that point you're getting very expensive, and the likelihood of these types of lineups working is gonna kind of be slim because I think I think Truex will get the lead at some point. And I think Sammy Smith is a contender to get the lead at some point. I would not be shocked if we see two Joe Gibbs Racing cars lead tonight. But I have 1, 2, 3 of my 17 lines with both Custer and Nemechek. Yet again, 17 is just arbitrary. I typically don't go over 20, but I just ended up with 17 today. That's where I'm at. So I figured they were going to race today, and so I just missed basically the entire truck race. Excuse me. I'll watch it Monday. I listened to the last portion of it on. Excuse me, because I went to the bar and stuff. I listened to it on SiriusXM coming back, and I was listening. I was like, what is host? Did Hocevar just dump himself? What's going on? I gotta check this out. That was amazing. Apparently it was long. I didn't even sit through it. I didn't want to. I honestly thought they wouldn't race last night, so I missed the whole, wet weather tires debacle and stuff. So I don't really know what I don't know what the story's about that. I'll see that on Monday and everything. But yeah, I heard it was a bit of a shit show and stuff. Let's see, Barry Custer, Truex, Nemechek, Core for cash. Like what? Yeah, like the Barry. I will admit, Mayer, Barry are gonna have no ownership, but I personally just wouldn't play them. And I mean, hockey, I would totally run the same. Those three drivers that I've been saying this whole time, those are the people I'd run in cash. My player pool, let me check Barry, Sammy Smith, Custer, Alfredo, Truex, Burton. Man, I did not get to, as I said, I didn't get to Burton, and I have no Kligerman. I don't fault you for it, getting different, but I think that's a pretty decent player pool and stuff. We all got to make our choices there. As I said, a majority of I think my player pool is like 19 or 20 guys. A lot of that is just from getting value plays in the back and stuff like that. Pat, thank you very much for the super chat as well. Thank you for always showing up, always being a continuous supporter of the channel, and just spreading the love, spreading the luck to everybody. No questions, just all around. Best of luck to everybody. So that's awesome. Thank you very much. Who you got? Austin Hill or Sammy Smith? I don't know how. Okay, that's a boy. We got some issues here. We got some issues in that lineup. If it is debating. I don't know why I thought they were separated by more. Never mind. Because in my head I was like, dude, isn't Sammy Smith like 98 and then isn't Hill like 10-5 or something? Didn't realize they were right beside each other. So disregard that reaction. Head to head, I like Sammy Smith if it's a 1v1. I like playing them together, but between those two, I would do Sammy Smith. Need two drivers totaling under 9K. Where would you lean? Totaling under? Well, just any. Defer to the projections if you got them. Did Jeb Burton lose a former team member? I don't know, man. I don't know. Jeb Burton's honestly just garbage, man. I feel so bad for him. He hasn't done anything since the trucks, man. I mean, I don't know. Hit 100 on $1 due to your help. Oh, hell yeah. Dude, that's awesome. Good job, Dakota. That's a good turnaround. I like Moffitt, but I know there's 99% chance his car will break. Thankfully, he qualified in a situation where I want to prioritize other people. If there was intermediate track, so this would be a good test. I mean, we've been through Richmond, we've been through Phoenix, but I got Moffitt finishing like right at 15th. Actually, I have him finishing 15th. If I bump him up to like, oh man, dude, 12th still isn't there. Top 10 still isn't there. So at this point, I think he just doesn't work based on his price. I can't really see him truly finishing like 7th or 8th. I think he'll finish probably around like anywhere from 12th to 18th today. Personally, I'm not worried, and I'm never worried about his car. I know that's a bit of a stretch because we have seen him have issues and stuff, but I'm usually not concerned with Moffitt's car with AM Racing and stuff. But that's just kind of where I'm at because they have really decent speed, and they're getting equipment from SHR, so it's not like they're putting everything together on their own. But that's just where I'm at there. Yeah, play them both, man. Between Sammy Smith and Austin Hill, just play both those guys. Herbst a good pivot off of Jones? Yes. So, did I end up with any Herbst? I do. So, yet again, so between Riley Herbst, Jones, and Kraus, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9 of my 17 lines with one of those drivers in there. I think Herbst is a good pivot off of Jones, and it's a situation where is he going to get enough fast laps being there? Like Riley Herbst, realistically, finishes 7th today. Okay? Not a bad day, not a bad time. Very similar, very on par with what he's been doing. When we look at how Riley Herbst has ran this year, 6th, 7th, 8th, 4th, 5th, 10th, 23rd. I mean, that's every finish this year. But he's been a 7th to 5th place driver. When we look at his races here, he's DNF twice with 2 29th place finishes, but it's 6th, 6th, and 3rd. So Riley Herbst today should finish, in my opinion, 7th. That's going to lead him with, that's going to be right around 39 points. If he's there, he'll most likely scrape off some fast laps, and you'll probably end up with Riley Herbst anywhere from like 40 to 43 points, which is very much on par with Derek Kraus, Brandon Jones, and even Daniel Hemrick. So, kind of mix and match there. As I said, I really didn't want to get to that range in general, but, you just kind of end up there in terms of Herbst being a good play. 88 of you guys here. Thank you very much for yet again joining me, spending your Saturday evening. I know we got quite a lot going on right now. If you're, doing NBA, all the other sports and stuff like that, we got 47 minutes until the slate locks for this race. And let me look through some stuff real fast. Let's see. Do I have any high cut? I might have. No, I might have one because I think I needed him to fit in the salary. I think I have him in one line, which yes, I have him in one. So, all right, yet again, back at the, you want to talk about equipment I'm worried about. It's the Mike Harmon equipment. I understand he's I don't know why you would invest in a slow car. Come on, people. Why would you invest in slow cars? I don't know why somebody invested and wanted to be a part of Mike Harmon's machine. So now it's like a joint effort between multiple people. That's a car I don't trust. For crying out loud, they've taped the name over. I'm pretty sure it's still Vargas on the windshield. They've just taped it over and handwritten Honey over it. Like the 74. Like, what are we doing? Actually, I don't think I'm the wrong guy. Am I thinking of... God, I've thought about so many things this week. Let me make sure he's in the 74. Yeah, he's in the 74. That's good. I mean, dude, this is the exact same car Mike Harmon has dragged around trying to make the field in races, okay? Like, that is a concern. That's a true concern. That is probably the riskiest car in terms of mechanical failure in the field. So I would honestly advise against using Caden unless you need the min salary. That's how it is. And if you're there and you like the lineup, I mean, roll with it, man. I got no issue there. But do not prioritize Caden. Use that. I hate using people in a situation where you just land on them. But if you just land on Caden and you like the line, go for it. Outside of that situation, don't even worry about it. Jason, you can support me on Patreon and get the projections and stuff to see that. Let's see. That's in LeBay, even with no practice. Yeah, I mean, LeBay knows what he's doing. LeBay has always been consistent, and he's always been good on short tracks. I'm not concerned. Very similar to Anthony Alfredo. Pricing's an issue. Pricing is absolutely an issue. That's the main thing there. I do have some LeBay. I think LeBay is a safe play. I think if you're playing cash, which I don't talk about that a lot, I would probably play quite a lot of LeBay because I see his likelihood of falling through the field very slim. I would be shocked if he finishes outside the top 28. I would be shocked, however, if he finishes higher than like 21st. Okay, he's very much going to ride where he's at. Which in a situation like this, with how closely projected a lot of these guys are, you might just need to take the points. Very similar to the truck race. Just take the points regardless if people hit value or not. Yeah, so like the Perkins, like, see the Perkins play, like it. Okay, realistically, talk to me now. Real talk here, boys. Blaine Perkins, has Blaine ever done anything? Realistically, talk to me now. Finished 10th here in the fall last year, okay? Outside of that, where has this man finished in general this year? What has Blaine done? Every single race this year, and I mean, yes, this includes Daytona, blah, 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 but I can't emphasize this enough. 37th, 31st, 35th, 35th, 22nd, hey, that's Atlanta, 26th at Richmond, okay? I mean, Blaine, like I said, this isn't a tricky slate, but it's just kind of uncomfortable, man. Same thing with Dawson Cram. Like, the same argument can be made there. Like, Perkins, the only reason we're looking at Perkins this week is practice, okay? That's it, okay? Now, I understand, 12th best on average, but Blaine is not going to run 12th, okay? Guy qualified outside the top 20, okay? So, Blaine is very much like, so, okay, here, I'll walk you through my projections, okay? First off, did what I just did there. Like, look, Blaine, he's kind of a shitty driver. That's just how it is, okay? Like, no offense. We're just talking out loud here. Sorry if you guys are sponsoring a car or no Blaine. But, come on, like, look at it. He's not that good of a driver. Secondly, if he can keep that 12th best car from the practice laps, which I like looking at just averages in general. But you got to remember, he was in the first session, okay? So I'm like, okay, he's not going to get up to like 12. We clearly understand that. What if he has a little bit more juice in the tank? What if he has a little bit more speed than normal? Okay, what if we give Blaine like a 19th place finish? Okay, he blows the doors off of everything and finishes 19th. That's 29 points, okay? That's barely value. Like, that is horrific because everybody behind him, outside of Joe Graff Jr. and Anthony Alfredo, are projected within 5 points of Blaine Perkins. And that's with me projecting him for 19th, okay? So if Perkins just Humpty Dumpty's his way and just like finishes where he starts, he's gonna kill your line. He really is. Like, Blaine can keep you from cashing with 19 points. Like, because in that range, we're gonna have other guys score 5, 6 and more points ahead, and that's huge in this value range, okay? 6 points is not that big in terms of your lap leaders because it's going to be based on laps led and fast laps and stuff like that. But when you get down to your value range, when you get down to like the end of your lineup, dude, fucking 6, 7, 8, 9 points, 10 points, that is huge. And that can keep you out of a cash line. That can keep you out of the bubble. So, oh my God, dude. I mean, Blaine Perkins, Dawson Cram. I mean, all these monkeys back here, I don't want to be over the field. I would honestly rather be under the field than most everybody back here, and just hopefully I can land on a high scoring line and not have to like burden myself by like truly just sitting on one guy back here. That's my argument for nearly everybody in the back. So I didn't mean to just absolutely crap on your try to get the 200 to get to Perkins, but I mean if you're in the 5,500 range, it's really whoever you want right there. Yeah, and Cram does have good lap averages, but okay, here let's go ahead and look. Whoa, okay, all right, hold on. Yet again, what, Jake, my main man, my home skillet. Jake, boy, what you looking at? What are you looking at, driver? What do you mean? Well, Dawson Cram, you're looking at that fake NASCAR.com bullshit. Here, hold on. Let me bring that up because hold on. I mean, you saw it there, but let me bring up what did NASCAR give him in terms of lap average crap. This is why I hate the way they do this. I guarantee. Let me just see here. I mean, as I said, at this point we've kind of already talked about where I am. Blah blah blah. We're kind of having fun. Let's see. Let me look. We find how NASCAR. Oh, actually, you're not even looking at NASCAR averages because that's 5. He's not even in a 10 lap. Okay, hold on. Let me. And I'm not trying to crap on your world real fast, but I do this to make a point whenever it is egregious. Also, dude, I hate the new NASCAR website. I honestly have no clue. I'm so incompetent. I have no clue how to get to the live leaderboard. I always, unless the race is on when it's like, here's the live, I have to bookmark it. I can never get to the fucking like live lap times, dude. I get so mad. This drives me insane. Like I go to schedule and I go to the previous race results, and then I can then go to this one. Like why do I have to step through so many things here? It makes no sense at all. What is going on here? All right, so here we are. Long story short, where are we at? Cram has good lap averages, man. Cram is a fast machine. As I said, he was running Q laps, but in case you didn't have that data, we can never look at this here, this overall. Oh my lord, gentlemen, we cannot look at that. You cannot. You're drinking the Kool-Aid if you're doing this. This is the biggest way, easiest way to lose money. Why was he so fast? Why was his lap average so fast? Because a fucking SOB ran 2 fast laps, 2 Q laps. He ran 3 laps in total. Yes, he has the best average. He does. Best average speed at the line. But dude, we cannot trust that. These are Q laps. That's fake news. Yeah, you know who had better, if we take this, average, that's average. Let's do some 91.5. Okay, all right, take the good laps here. What does Custer have? 91.85. This is Q times, man. Same thing. If you look at anybody's laps, you take their best laps, they're going to be right there. So I'm not just trying to I'm trying to shake you, Jake. So if you're using Dawson Cram, yeah, use him because he's in an SS Greenlight car. Use it because also I forgot I got to show this. Move this to the side. You're playing Dawson Cram because you like that he's in an SS Greenlight car. You're playing Dawson Cram because you think he can perform well in this race and not do anything stupid and not mess anything up. But you're not playing if you're using that logic like that, you're on the wrong island. You're using the wrong data point there for Dawson Cram. If you're using the fact that he had good lap averages, you have to look everything in context. Why does he have good lap averages? Because he only ran 4 laps. All right, what else we got? 77 of you guys here. Thank you very much for still being here. Let's look. Weatherman, Ellis, or Josh Williams and Brennan Poole. I would go Weatherman and Ellis. I think that is a higher upside and even a safer one there. Derek Kraus, we're kind of there. Derek Kraus, Jones, Herbst, kind of in that. I have no real lean. If you get to him, you get to him. I do have Kraus in lines, but I would try to avoid having them in a lot of lines. Josh Williams is starting too high up, in my opinion. Same case to be made about Dawson Cram and stuff. Josh Williams, probably a good day, he's going to finish 19th. He's just not going to score you well. Sorry. Sorry, Jakes, about that. Are you in line with Custer and John Nemechek? I have 3 of those lines together. All right, so at this point, we've talked about everything. You guys, in the comments below or in the live stream, let me know what was your opinion on the 22 truck last night. Am I being an asshole, or am I just being consistent and calling things as I see it and not really sugarcoating stuff? Or am I just being an asshole? All right. I don't think I've said anything, and I haven't been attacked. I'm just saying in general, because I've seen people wildly defending Stefan, and that's fine. That, as I said, check out the tweets that I put out there. Everybody knows my opinion. I'm just asking, I am not stepping out of any boundary, or I'm not out of my circle. I'm not saying anything that doesn't have info to back it up. I am just completely baffled by just how everything was handled. It's honestly a real shame. I think it was a PR disaster for nearly everybody involved. It was so stupid. It could have been so fun. It could have been a fun thing for everybody to root for and have fun. But like, you get unrealistic expectations, or you get, he said himself, he just doesn't want to wreck. I don't know where everything else came from. Is like, we gotta finish top 25. We gotta finish 20th. Like, Jake ran last. What did you expect? It's not the battery issue, okay? He was last all week, and that's fine. Like, why was the expectation anything but that? What is going on? I've been shocked. Yet again, same thing. And then like the FRG feller, the guy who designed the truck, I mean, he's stepping into a lane that he has no idea the kind of shitstorm he could get into talking to DFS players, okay? I don't post screenshots. I don't really talk to people on Twitter a lot. But man, when it's so funny, man. I thought it was hilarious when DK Racer posted on Nick's tweet of like last place. Also, Nick, I don't want to say anything. I don't want to make it anything personal, because I don't take anything personal, and I don't mean anything by that. But I'm afraid Nick or anybody personally will take it personally, and then it's just another fucking shitstorm. Anyway, so I'll talk about the FRG guy, the dude who designed it. DK Racer puts on, and this is just a great example. It's elsewhere as well, but Steven finishes last place, and then FRG retweets him. And I know DK Racer clearly has DK in his name. He follows me. He follows DFS guys. He's clearly a DFS player. Okay, regardless of how much money you spend it or not, he's a DFS player. Comes from DFS Twitter. Like, come on, dude, that place is toxic as fuck. And the fact that FRG came out and says, bro, thinks making fun of somebody chasing their dream is funny. This dude probably works a basic-ass boring job, wishing he could even touch a racetrack. Oh my god, dude. What an L take. What an incel virgin take. I can't believe the man who designed the paint scheme tweeted that. I can't, like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, dude, the world is not all cherries and rainbows, okay? I'm sorry that we're not Bob Pockrass. Secondly, very funny. How many times did everybody involved in this tag Bob Pockrass? Bob never responded to anything. But, like, bro, what is going on here? It was like two different worlds colliding. Maybe three. Because you have people who've never been involved in racing before living their dream. But then, like, drink the Kool-Aid and not seeing the realistic stuff of it. But you're also having people involved in racing not used to toxicity, because everybody involved in NASCAR is just, a lot of propaganda. Everybody's very, like, toxically positive to each other. So, like, that was colliding in, and people from the DFS industry are like going to, like, the NASCAR, everything's good, that was a good run area. And then you have people like me of just like, yeah, cool, good thing you fucking ran dead last. Like, everything just collided in on each other. This is so weird. It's so strange. It's so crazy. He posted on Reddit that he was getting a top 20 and was fighting with everyone pre-race. No idea. Did Steven post that? Like I said, dude, what a PR disaster. You could be leaving this with like, we'll get him next time, boys. We'll get there. But let's see. What did he tweet? He said like, all his response and stuff. Everybody, am I on a different planet? Okay, here, I'll just say it. Like, Nick and Ryan, because as I said, I like Jordan, and Jordan was just having fun. I got no issue with Jordan. I mean, everybody knows I view Jordan as a friend. That's how it is. Nick and I have never really gotten along. And I know very little about Ryan. They've never really interacted with me. But, like, what? It's because you have your stuff on a truck. And I know, that's why I'm like, I've been there. I know what it's like to have your company on a race car, sponsoring series. Like, I know what that's like. You have to separate yourself from it. It's the same thing of, like, you have to separate yourself from, like, getting burned on bad DFS plays. You have to have a short memory, or at least don't let that hang over you. Just because your logo is on a truck doesn't make the truck faster. You put your logo on the slowest guy in the field. Like, what are you talking about, guys? Anyway, what did he... I'm sorry, I'm going... I mean, clearly we're like deep... And feel free to keep commenting. I'll look at stuff in a second. What did he put? Oh, yeah, he was attacking. So Steven swings back. Or Nick swings back with, like, why'd you post this? I don't... Nick... The truck finished last. He's not wrong. Like, he could have finished 39. He could have finished 31st, and it would have been the same thing. Like, it's not that we're hating on the dream. Chase your dreams. I'm going to race. I want to race next year. I'm saving up to race. I would probably do the same thing of, like, hey, if you guys would like to be on the race car, let me know. But, like, I'll vlog shit. You know, I got a realistic sense of where I am. We are not going to do anything. If anything, I'm going to tear some shit up, all right? But I'm going to have fun doing it. Like, be honest with yourself. It's like being back in high school. What is going on here? Anyway. So, he's like, we have a battery issue. I really love these people on Twitter who shit on drivers like me for doing everything possible to live my dream despite having limited funding. Why don't you get off Twitter and do something better with your life? Seriously, over it. Are you not from DFS Twitter? Steve, what? You play DraftKings. What? So now, like, we bully the shit out of Chris Wright because Chris Wright is so easy to make fun of. So everybody dogpiles. You all call people, they drive shitbox cars. This guy is fucking terrible. This is a bad driver, etc., etc., etc. every week. Oh, this fucking loser lost me money. Oh, this idiot drove into the wall, crashed himself. Oh, so on and so forth. But then, like, when you're in that position, now you're getting all defensive. Then that's just kind of hypocritical. Then it's like two roads. Like, it's a fork in a road to where you either have to realize what I always say: don't tweet at drivers. Like, you can, if you're gonna, like, talk, I'd never tweet at people, because first off, Twitter isn't real. But secondly, actually, we're like at 4 different forks in the road. If you guys are with me here, because at this point, everybody is you either be like, hey, this is just what we do. Somebody performs bad, you kind of just shit talk them and stuff because they lost your money and blah, 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 and you continue on with your life. Or you can never do that again now, because now you've been in that position, you know how it feels. And I guess, like, you got your feelings hurt or whatever. Like, what? But secondly, Steven, man, we can't be attacking people. You can't. This is, as I said, this has been a PR nightmare. It's been a PR disaster. And I'm so glad I had nothing to do with it. I just got to watch this thing, this dumpster fire. Because, Nick, I don't understand. I think it's made Nick look bad. I think it's made Steven look bad. I think it's made Ryan look bad. And it's kind of made them all look like hypocrites. And I don't know. I think it's just been a bad image across the board for a lot of people. And very unfortunate. Could have been a really, really fun thing. I just can't believe it, man. Same thing with, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm so shocked. I'm like, I've watched a disaster unfold in real life in a truck race. And it was such a shit show. It's so non-important outside of, like, our little industry. He ran last all week, in the practice session. They didn't even realize who was on the hood of the car. So it shows you how little, which, yet again, if you've watched any videos ever on YouTube, you would realize that sponsoring a NASCAR car is just a waste of money, which is fine. I'm not saying, like, that was a mistake. I'm just saying the return on investment is very low. That's just how it is. But the fact that the broadcast didn't even bother to care who was on the car, the fact that they didn't talk to him, the fact that he wasn't on there, the fact that he ran last, but all this is, like, you would never, if you're involved in racing and you're a backmarker, just straight up, you're at your local racetrack, regardless if it's asphalt, dirt, whatever the case may be, you're a 17th place driver. week in and week out. 25th, wherever you're at. You're just kind of running laps. You know you're not going to win. You know a good day for you is not tearing stuff up. It's always people who don't. It's so weird. You want to be like, so fucking proud of you, man. You had him. You're going to get him. Guys, just have realistic expectations. It's like, what? This is so weird. It's so strange, man. Am I wrong? Let me know. Like, am I the asshole? Hey, Reddit, am I the asshole? Or am I just am I like, what? What's going on here? Let me see this. Let's see. Let's see. Posting on Reddit. Yeah. So let's see. 22 sucked worse than NASCAR's handling of the race. Yeah, I was. Which is fine. Why is that such a bad thing? As I said in my thing, like, it's fine. You know, we don't need to act like it was some legendary performance. The man just turned some laps. He lived his dream. Just have some self-awareness. Be self-aware. Don't be so defensive about it. Man, it's okay, guys. Jeez, Louise. Buddy boys. Bob is a vegan. Kyle, I'm glad you enjoyed it. 6-3, you guys here. Come on. That's why I'm like, I don't know if people are afraid to say things or not. I don't know, man. And this isn't even like me shouting on a hill. I'm just kind of chilling like a rocking chair. Just like, oh, that whole situation was just kind of weird. Like, this whole thing was just odd. I don't know, man. That was crazy. I didn't get any of that stuff. That stuff was so strange. It was so weird. I don't know. His Twitter was hilarious. Whose Twitter? Be more specific. They were all kind of funny, but like, I don't know, dude. That shit was wild. I hope, Steven, I hope he can get some women out of this, because that was the main deal. That was the whole reason why he did it, right? Yet again, did you guys hear the same story I heard? He's doing this to get women. Oh, jeez, Louise, man. What a time to be alive. What an absolute time to be alive. Jesus Christ, dude. Guys. Kyle, you're not saying things that aren't true. So for me at this point, is I would love, truly, honestly, I would, oh, that's Nick. Man, I try and really not talk about anything. I try to really not talk about anybody in the industry, because I prefer to not be blocked on. That was so funny. Secondly, I don't know who they are. This is a while back, maybe a year and a half ago or whatever. But I was scouring through Twitter, and I was like, oh man, a lot of people I follow are replying to a guy, but I don't know who it is. It's from, like, this tweet is from somebody who has blocked you or whatever. So I go into incognito, and it's somebody from FTN, my bad, from FTN. I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. And then I kind of went down, and there's like 5 people from FTN. I don't even know if they're still there, but they had blocked me. I don't know what I did. I don't know what I ever said. I've never really talked about FTN. I just found it hilarious that I got blocked by them. And I would really prefer it if I don't get blocked by people on my account, because it just makes a bigger hurdle for me to look at stuff very quickly on Twitter. As I said, I like Jordan. I can easily talk to him. I've been trying to meet up with him a few times in real life. Just it hasn't worked out and stuff. Nick and I have just never really gotten along. We haven't really talked a lot, but I can tell him and I are from 2 different cloths. We are not even the same fabric. That's about as far as I'll go. But you can. I would honestly much rather talk shit about Steven. if we want to keep the rant going, I got to talk about Steven. I'm not gonna just absolutely shit on Nick for being Nick, I guess. 6 of you guys still here. You guys like the rant? It's just kind of Kyle in here. I don't know. That's why. I don't know. I really like this to be a bigger conversation, man. That was just wild. I can't believe it. It was unreal. How exactly did NASCAR allow him to race? Your guess is as good as mine, man. I have no idea. That's why it's secondary. As Like, man, dude, if Steven anybody can get a license. It doesn't matter. That's why I'm like, these truck fields are just bad. Are you kidding me? Yet again, sorry. Apparently, we can't talk bad about people because we sponsor their truck now. But if we didn't know who Steven was, we'd be like, wow, that guy's just a fucking slow dude. Like, we're not playing that loser. You know? The real story should be on Brad Perez. You know, the guy had a tremendous race. And we already know his story, race mechanic and stuff. And he wants to do some races. Had a phenomenal day going. Look at William. Phenomenal day going. Connor Jones. All these are stories that we should actually be fucking celebrating. Not some dude trying to get some pussy just because he wants to start some NASCAR races. Like, what? It's like Tim Means all over you. We shit on Tim Means all the time. Steven is Tim Means version 2. Like, what? Are we crazy here? What are we doing? Let's see. Steven had previous race history. I mean, he has raced previously, with like go-karts and stuff. Bit of a road racer. He made a Mid-Ohio start last year in the truck series. That's really it, to his credit, you know. Become very similar to me, honestly. And this is a situation here. Steven, I would do the exact same that you did. If I had the same opportunity you did last night, I would have done the exact same thing. This is not a discussion on I'm better than you, I could do better. It's not that at all. I just look at it as like, I would be on Twitter being like, hey guys, I finished a race. Woo! I didn't destroy the car. I'm here. It shouldn't be like, I don't know, man. Just expectations were fucked all around, man. It was FUBAR. Absolutely FUBAR. The ready for adjustments to Creed, Clements, Alfredo, Graham LeBay. Are you off Alfredo now? I did. Well, Alfredo's already starting last because they had unapproved adjustments to begin with. But I only had one Alfredo to begin with just because he was in a price range that you weren't able to get to, at least in my opinion. And we got 60 minutes until lock. 490 guys still here. I'm going to assume you guys like the rant. We got 33 likes. Let's see if anybody truly left. Let's see. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I guess I'll head off. We can talk about this more tomorrow, or I guess just let this this conversation end here, whatever the case may be. I don't consider last night a race. Yeah, it was not. What do you likes do? What do you likes do on YouTube? I mean, it's more so engagement. That's important on YouTube because I mean, it's not necessarily good if you have dislikes, but it's not gonna like kill your videos. And I have enough videos on there. Like this could get absolutely disliked to oblivion. And it wouldn't affect the channel at all. But likes just show the algorithm that people like it. And, I know how stupid that sounds, but like it'll recommend this to people who also like similar things. Views and stuff will also get that. It's more so engagement, like comment engagement, either here or just comments and videos. Like that's the main pushing point of YouTube. That's important and stuff. iRacing stream will be tomorrow. We've had 2 weeks off for Winsdale. We're at Texas tomorrow, so that'll be a fun race. I got to go and race fully there. How much Sammy Smith for 20 max is too much? I mean, I got 17 and I got Sammy in all but 3 lines, so that's 14. So I'd run 14 at 20, man. That's what I'd do. I'm fine with that. I don't think he'd have too much Sammy, but they could pit the guy again at a bad, like Christian Eckes last night. What the hell is that team doing pitting? It's about to rain. Guys, just look up at the sky. Why are you pitting? Well, we're going to pit him in case the race goes green, then we can win this race. Bitch, it ain't going to go green. Look at the fucking rain behind you. Like, what? God damn. Everybody involved in NASCAR are a bunch of idiots. I think that's actually that's the main takeaway. That's the main takeaway of everything. Everybody involved in NASCAR, including myself, are mentally challenged in some degree. We're all idiots. I think that's where we're going to end it there. You guys have a fantastic evening. Best of luck in this slate. I will see you guys tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern, which is 9 o'clock my time. And we'll be talking Cup Series and stuff like that. So I'll see you guys then. Best of luck. Thank you for tuning in and watching this race and watching everything else. And I'll see you guys later.